Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Ladies Professional Racquetball Tour. We're here in downtown Charlotte, North Carolina.
So the production software we use is vMix.
Very nice to be here after many, many, many years, Maurice Miller. It's great to be in this YMCA, 4 beautiful courts, and a number of people watching on for this match between Longoria and Ross.
I mean, you get a chance to see the world #1 play, you know, the GOAT of racquetball.
vMix just comes out of the box, like I already said. A lot of things.
She's put many years into training and playing, and, you know, she's got her accolades for a reason.
Well, let's turn our attention to up-and-comer Naomi Ross. A fine win this morning in 2 straight over Maria Renee Rodriguez. But now facing, no disrespect to Rodriguez, a different test.
True.
Ross, the current national champion for USA.
Like updating like the stuff like in real time. Like,
I think we're just waiting for the coin toss
a little bit of that. What we actually
on the back of our court. Big thank you to all the sponsors for this tournament, as well as the tour, allowing us to be here. And wherever you're watching, I hope you're enjoying the coverage. We've had a number of matches and still some ongoing on court #1. This is court #2. So let's just fill you in. Natalia Mendez over Centellas, and will now face Gabby Martinez tomorrow, who defeated Lexi York. And then Maria Jose Vargas, you saw on our stream, defeat Cheryl Lotz. We'll face Brenda Laime. That will be a stiff test after Laime defeated Samantha Salas. And then we saw Montse Mejia tested for, not in game 1, 15-4, but 15-14 in game 2 against young Bolivian Camila Rivero. So we know some of the quarterfinalists. We're still waiting to find out if it will be Lawrence or Amaya. Right now, I believe Lawrence is up in that one. Jessica Parrilla, Alexandra Herrera will face off, and then we're watching Ross and Longoria. So Ross to serve. Very good serve down the right side.
Good shot.
Longoria lost in the finals of both singles and doubles last week, so we'll have spent a lot of time on court. Elected not to play doubles this weekend.
We've talked about that, you know, with each of the players from our previous streams we did. And we're going to see, you know, how does she come out this game? You know, was she able to hit a court? Did she rest? What's going on? What's the call?
Replay.
Okay.
It's been fun. The YMCA has a balcony up above us, behind us, that is an entrance to this club. I'll preface that, I'll rephrase that. The facility, the sports facility, a very large YMCA. So it's been fun watching people come in to do their workout and see these ladies performing and just kind of stop on the balcony and check it out.
For next season, I'm going to ask Jerry if we can just get a camera dedicated to some of the facial expressions so you could see the personality of the players at the same time. Look at it. Good shot.
I have a new webcam at home, courtesy of work, that AI tracks. And so it follows. You can train it to follow. It's not even, you don't even train it. It will follow somebody.
Really?
Maybe something to look into. Nice shot from Ross.
That was a good serve, good retrieval, good. Hey, serve, return, kill.
These two have faced each other one time before. It was back in 2023 in Christmas Classic.
Good serve, ace.
And it was Longoria who won it 15-1, 15-5.
Okay.
But that was 18 months ago. Ross has definitely matured as a player since then. Ross, 19 years old compared to Longoria's 35. Longoria turns 36 next month.
Mm-hmm.
Ross' age at debut was 15. Longoria 14. Big thanks to Todd Boss, Pro Racquetball Stats, for keeping track of all of that. Second serve called.
Good serve, but no court hinders in professional racquetball, so point.
Yeah, there are, Maurice. Skip ball from Ross. Yes, court hinders can be called at any point. You're thinking maybe IRT?
But what happened with the ceiling?
I don't know why they didn't ask for it.
Good serve.
Ace serve from Longoria. Doubles matchups this afternoon coming up. Rivero Ross will be taking on Centellas and Vargas, who claimed the title just a week ago, less than a week ago. Herrera Mejia, the 1 seeds last weekend, are now the 3 seeds, facing Lotz and York. And Amaya Parrilla will face Rodriguez and Lawrence. Mendez and Laime get a bye into the semifinals.
That's tough.
Fist pump from Ross.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Playing.
Big winner from Longoria. Winner of this matchup will face either Parrilla or Herrera. That will be tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Mm-hmm. Good jam. Longoria shot unfortunately caught the side while allowing, Ross to go get it, who then took the same shot but hit it slightly cleaner for a winner.
Do want to say a big shout out to our media manager, Maripa Riquelme, who spends all weekend collecting video and taking photos. We saw over 2 million views last weekend. One of her videos had 1.5 million views. What a great
Really?
way to
Let's
get
go.
racquetball spread around the world.
Yep.
Big thanks to everybody who's watching and sharing this feed as well.
Both are hitting good shots and then retrieving them. Was it 4-2? Yeah.
Ross hailing from San Antonio. San Antonio, a hotbed of racquetball. Thanks to a number of coaches and volunteers down there. Great junior program. Kelly Bean here supporting Paula Longoria. Naomi Ross coached by George Bustos, who no doubt is watching on.
Mm-hmm. Good angle. So I'd say for the start of this game compared to the other three, you know, the ace differential, don't really see that in this game yet. The touch.
Did you say age or ace?
Ace differential.
Ace, yes. Yes, we've seen a number of aces in both matches, all three matches this morning on this stream.
Way to play through.
For serving three, game one. Also want to shout out Maurice J. Josie and Maria Renee Rodriguez, who are big supporters of this tournament. I've always supported the Sweet Caroline. They got their sticker on the front wall. And for those of you watching, if you look to the top right, let's finish this rally.
Oh my
Shot from Longoria. To the top right, you can see the Josie family sticker.
Yeah.
Along with their pets.
That's their pets?
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. That's unique. I've never seen that before. I like that. That's a tough shot by Longoria.
Jay said he hasn't seen his dog for 2 weeks. So, dog goes up on the wall.
Yeah.
And I will say, you know, Jay Josie, TJ Bomba, it's a lot of travel. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of time away from home. So, big thank you to them for all the work they do to keep the tour not only going, but allowing you all to watch.
Clean.
Well, we had a question in the chat. Where's Statman?
Where is Statman, T?
It was a toss-up whether I could get him here, but he will be here in September for the World Singles and Doubles. Will you be, Maurice?
No. September?
Yeah.
No. Unfortunately,
That's
no.
unfortunate. We're certainly looking forward to being back in Denver for that one. Fantastic tournament. Hope you join us in person if you can.
That's
very tough hitting from Naomi Ross, who's hanging around in this first game. Still looking for a few more points as a server.
Both players are executing. I mean, Longoria's ceiling balls weren't bad at all. It's an good angle.
There's the ace.
Hey.
There's the ace that we were talking about.
Actually, I think Naomi's got two aces. I think she aced her once on the forehand side, too. I don't know.
I think Paula did, didn't she?
Then they might have 2 and 1 then. If Statman was here.
If Statman was here.
Good shot.
3-shot rally from Ross.
Good shot.
Statman needs a sponsor, Maurice. That's what it is.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, from their previous matchup, the score is indicative of a certain style of play, but, you know, Ross is coming in very competitive and competing in it. Obviously, it's still early, you know, only 11 points scored. Interesting to see how the rest of this game and, you know, for on the match plays out. That is nasty.
Well, we know that Longoria has played almost 650 matches on tour.
Gosh,
And
darn.
for Ross, this is less than 25.
Put the vast.
And so you put the experience there, and you can understand maybe why Longoria is a heavy favorite in this match.
Absolutely.
However, I think Ross winning the national championships was a breakthrough moment for her, and will certainly give her confidence. Unforced error from Ross. Well, maybe a forced error, I should say.
Yeah, that's a good nick. I mean, you know, sometimes, most of the time, spectators, after this rally, spectators don't see the work you put in. You know, we really just get to see the result of the match. And so, who knows, however it begins to click for you. Sometimes it might take a couple months, a couple tournaments, a year or so. But whenever your skills start to mature and develop, that's when you can put them on display. Obviously, we know what Longoria is bringing, and so that's nasty. That's just smart. And so for Ross, it's her chance to be able to be competitive. Timeout by her.
So timeout on the court, taken by Naomi Ross. We'll do the same. We'll be back in just a minute. We're back live. During the timeout, was checking out the match history of Naomi Ross. I mentioned just playing less than 25 times on tour. And Maurice, this is only the 5th time that Ross has made it to the round of 16.
Wow. Out of, you said 20-ish matches?
23. '22.
That's
Clean winner.
my man. It's not that these are, we're talking about bottom boards, man.
And I think the challenge for any of the newer players coming onto tour is you have to have, let this rally finish. You have to have either a breakthrough tournament or you have to come to every tournament to get those ranking points, to get out of the situation where, yes, you may be in a round of 64 facing another person who's of a similar success rate as you. But once you get to the round of 32, you're often facing a tough player.
I mean, you know, I'm not gonna say lack of matches, but so few matches. Plus, she's 19, like she's still young. This is still a valuable experience for her, though.
Absolutely. So here are some of the names over the last, we'll do 2024 on, who she's had to play. Longoria, Carla Munoz, Mejia, Vargas, Mejia, Lots, and Barrios. Those are tough matchups.
All hard matchups. But again, you know, this is early in her career where, you know, you're going to face those matches. It's when you get that experience or that breakout performance, and then you can start being competitive, and then hopefully on your end starting to beat them more often than not.
When crucially for Ross, she wants to get the ranking points to the point where she's not ranked or is not coming in as the 16th seed.
Yeah.
Because then you're playing the world number one every time, and who wants to do that? Five serving 10.
Good kid.
Ross using her defense to create offense.
I know, yeah, I think about that all the time. I'm like, man, that's not true. I'm terrible.
I mentioned this earlier, but from what I'm told, I'm not a math expert, Longoria has claimed the year-end #1 title coming into this, courtesy of her finals appearance last week.
Congrats to her. She's the GOAT for a reason.
Greatest woman of all time.
I mean, her ability and accolades speak for themselves. She's a tremendous athlete and a competitor. Oh, man.
Ross ran around to the forehand side to take that, was aggressive, but Longoria was right there. 10 serving 7, says our official, Camila Rivero. Side out, avoidable hinder given. What was your take?
I agree with the call.
Yeah, you have to say it out loud.
I agree with the call. I agree. I mean, from where Naomi set up for it, she was literally directly behind Longoria. I mean, where Ross set up behind Longoria.
Just reading some comments from Todd Boss of Pro Racquetball Stats as a timeout is coming. He said that number 8, being seeded number 8, is another hard one to get through because you're playing number 9. You're playing number 9 in the round of 16s. And then if you beat that number 9, good chance it's quite a match. Then you roll into playing the number 1. And so to get that next stage is very tough because you either have to maybe accrue points from participation to get out of that number 8, or you have to beat that number 1.
So do you take a couple of losses to get to like 10 or like 11, 12 to play like a 5?
But then it's so tough though, because I mean,
but you would play that person in the 16s.
That's true. So you're right, because then you run into
So
the harder
then you're-
matchup. Man.
So it's just it is really hard. You have to, as a player, you have to have some kind of breakthrough marquee event that gets you a lot of points that translates into I'm number 7 seed or I'm number 6 seed now.
Or like you mentioned too, like play the events to where you at least, have points that are still there. Man.
But most of these ladies do. I mean, Naomi Ross is an exception. Camila Rivero, Gabby Martinez doesn't always. But most of them are at every event. And so it is hard to get above by doing it that way. Well, timeout was taken by Longoria, and it was effective. Side out, 10-8.
slightly high off the back wall.
I think the other challenge that you have is when you're facing 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's such a good get.
You're playing 1, 2, 3, 4. They're consistent. They've gotten to 1, 2, 3, 4 for a reason, and they know how to win when they're not playing their best. They grind out the win. Mejia, a great example of that in the second game that we just watched, was down game point, but found a way to come back and win that match in 2.
Yep. Quick was it at least down 3, and it just shows, like we've been saying, just the consistency and experience help.
Ross wants something, but I don't think she
got
does
it.
get a replay.
What do you think?
I don't think replay on that one.
Very close, but I would have to agree. If she had even got a racket on it, I don't think it would have been enough to make the front wall. But to her credit now, 10-10.
Yes.
Good serve.
I will also say, Maurice, that we sit on the right side of this court, and the official stands on the left. So what we see, our perception is different to the official.
100%.
And replay and avoidable hinder, the most controversial call in racquetball, is always a judgment call.
Yeah.
And in part, that's what makes it interesting.
Change the serve.
That ball got stuck on the left side. Ceiling ball was effective. Mejia was tested in her last match against the young Rivero, and Longoria is facing the same against Ross.
Good serve. Good angle. Might not have, the quote-unquote aces. However, they're hitting quality serves, and so you're still generating a weaker return.
They're effective, not necessarily aces, as you said, but effective. Timeout on the court taken by Ross. We're going to take a timeout here. Longoria leads it 12-10. We're back live. It was Ross who took the timeout. Let's find out if it worked.
You see Sam's practicing to be a line judge for us later in the tournament. Yeah.
I will say one time, I was saying, you can't just do no call every time.
I think maybe that's
You can't just do no call every time. Good back.
Ooh. Wow. Fist pump from Ross.
Splat from about 36.
Yeah, and as a player, sometimes you just got to say, good shot, that's too good. I put you in a bad spot, and you got out of it, rather than beat yourself up. Maurice nods his head. So, screen serve?
No. The ball is on the wall.
We may see a request for, I think Longoria in the back was just asking Rivero to watch for the screen serve. Just a little short. I officiated the match between Ross and Rodriguez and saw Ross use that short Z effectively 2 or 3 times against Rodriguez. Throws it in once in a while. Looks like she's going left and then it comes right.
Fun fact, every time she's gone cross court to the right off and over, it has always hit the right side and came off the back wall at a high level to where Longoria can just set up for it. Every time.
she looked like she wanted to come out.
Ooh, wrong-footed her.
And I think that's where you talked about having the effective serve that doesn't necessarily give an ace, but sets you up for the next shot. And you saw that there.
Like an ace should be considered like hitting the jackpot, and just hitting an effective one should be the goal. Wrong-footed her again.
Yeah, Ross moving forward. I expect thinking about the pinch, but Longoria went down the left side. Brings up game point number 1 for Paula Longoria. That's just unlucky. It's just unlucky. The ball just dies on the back wall glass and floor. But a reprieve for Ross, who's just 4 points away from this first game herself. Serve kisses the sidewall, comes in to the hitting range of Longoria, who has no hesitation. No argument that time from Longoria. Will be annoyed with herself, no doubt, but Ross was right there. Avoidable hinder, another game point saved.
Tough.
Wow.
That's so good. Controlled, yep.
Terrific shot from Longoria. Game point number 3.
Good shot.
Smart jam serve claims game one, 15-11. So we have a 2-minute timeout. Naomi Ross was close, but not close enough. We'll talk about what she needs to do when we return because she now has to win game two. We're back in, everybody. Tim Backhurst, Maurice Miller, Jake Josie at the controls for this afternoon. Hope you're enjoying the coverage wherever you're watching from. Maurice Miller, if you're a betting man, you're probably putting your money on Longoria now that she's won game one.
For sure. If I was a betting man, I mean, world number one, won game one, you know.
But if we only bet for the favorite, we wouldn't really bet, would we? Because underdogs can and do win. After this rally, we'll find out what you think Ross should do different.
It's best 2 out of 3. The first 2 games are to 15, win by 1. Okay, and then if they split and win 1 game each, they play a tiebreaker to 11 and win by 1.
So what should Ross do?
Some of her shots were, majority of them were good, but the ones that weren't. And so you really set Longoria up and gave her anything. Okay, because, there's levels to it. Like, sometimes it's bad, but you'd kind of get away with it. They were giving her pure setups in the middle of the floor. And you just can't give Longoria that. And then the last, couple points, she kept being caught wrong for, you're going left, but Longoria hit it to the right.
And I think you pointed out, too, in game one, cross courts need to be less wide.
Absolutely.
Take a little off the angle so they go into the back right corner as opposed to the sidewall.
Yeah, specifically the ones that were over, above her shoulder.
But sometimes we see players make these significant adjustments, and then, of course, the score just disappears in their rearview mirror because they made so many. And for Ross, I think not that much should change, small changes, because she was in it. And if you're Longoria, more of the same?
More of the same. Just keep it simple. you know, the pressure is not really on Longoria. It's on Ross.
A serve from Longoria. You think that, though? The pressure's on Ross?
Absolutely. So, I mean, in game one, right, when the score is tied, sure, there's more pressure on Longoria, but now that she's won game one, the pressure's gone. It's like, all right, even if I do lose, I still got a tiebreaker. And for her, because she's been playing and has been in these situations before where she had to come back against Gabby last weekend, you know, she's going to be confident that I can get through anything.
Longoria starts the brighter in the second game. Unforced error from Ross makes it 4-0. Interesting selection from Ross, who decided not to take that ball early and then took it above her head. Overhead shot, outdoor shot.
So what's your next two sports?
Ultimate Frisbee and roller derby.
My brother plays professional ultimate frisbee.
Does he? What team?
Yeah, he plays for Portland Metro.
Okay.
But another unforced error. That's a couple from Ross in the second game.
Yep. Both players open stance, pinches, skipped right at the wall.
So, but I still schedule. I'm like, okay, no next game is going to come up. And then I wrote roller derby. I hope roller derby number 40 because I wrote roller skating, so I like that a lot.
Yeah, yeah. That's so cool. Good for you. That's awesome.
And then I'm going to break in order, which is like always like.
You should do that. Make sure you time though. Here too.
Pass.
Higher.
Longoria all of a sudden looks a lot more settled, and it's Ross who's going to take the timeout. So let's fill you in with where we are so far today. We started with a round of 32s this morning. Round of 16s, we know Montse Mejia will face Kelani Lawrence, who won 11-8 against Christina Amaya. That was a tight tiebreaker win for Lawrence. Brenda Laime was a little more comfortable over Samantha Salas and will face Maria Jose Vargas, who you may have seen take out USA's Cheryl Lotz earlier today, 15-4, 15-4. Gabby Martinez, well, rumors were she wasn't feeling so well, but didn't really affect her game. She went 15-8, 15-0 over Lexi York. And Natalia Mendez overcame her fellow Argentinian, Valeria Centellas, 15-11, 15-8. Maurice, last tournament of the season. I know you watch a lot of it. What are your thoughts? Players, people to look out for next season?
Players, I mean, as of right now, including this match, it seems the top seeds are doing what they have to do. Players to look out for would definitely be Camila or Rivero if she's able to come
play
to the events, right? Looking at her development. And then same for us who we're watching right now, where you had lost by 4 in the first game against world number 1. That's pretty good, especially considering last match. And then looking at Longoria, can she continue her dominance next season also?
It's not fun anymore. It's like, see, like 10-9-1, you're like, oh no. And they don't play each other, like, okay, it's easier to pick on this one team.
Yes. Right.
So it made it drop down. The extreme combos.
I didn't even know that was a thing. That's crazy.
Smart shot down the left side from Longoria. Continues the momentum she gained from winning the first. Also add, Maurice, I'll throw in Annie Sanchez, who's not here in this tournament, but was there last weekend and has really improved with 1 or 2 good wins this season. It's great to see her playing full-time on the tour. Of course, I say full-time, she misses this one, but...
So I was just, and then her, and probably a couple more, who maybe I haven't seen yet physically here because, commentating, but I always love watching the improvement of the athletes from season into the new one during the off season. Like, what did you do?
I look for stuff and find things.
Very smart.
So I look for stuff. I found a good one I saw. Yes, Australian music. Australian music ball.
No.
Look it up.
Okay.
It's like number 5.
Longoria seems to have really settled in the second game. Ross has no answer.
Longoria's ability to hit off of the off foot, meaning, it's his forehand, left foot forward, whereas he takes shots open stance and is precise with them.
When I go see one of the others, it's very, there's a lot of good sports out there.
Yeah, no, I would agree. That's awesome. And it's more different from watching online or on TV.
Absolutely, yes. Oh, yes, I have to.
And it's no slight to Ross's ability as a pro. Like, he's playing well. He's just a world number one.
Anything sticking balls better in person. Anything sticking balls. Eventually, I'll have to see golf, but I don't find it on TV. Oh, I didn't find it on TV. Golf.
And Ross right now just not able to get that ball deep, forcing Longoria to hit deep. Longoria standing in the service box, finishing that one. 7-0. Excuse me, 8-0.
Baseball is at the limit of a kid's man. And I just sport baseball. Yeah, get them focused. See, if I don't keep score.
I also don't like to watch baseball really much.
I do like baseball.
Oh, okay, you do like it.
Yeah.
It's too long.
Well, that's why it's lowest.
Again, 3-shot rally from Longoria.
Good angle.
And Ross taking her second and final timeout. Some of these players will be at the World Games next month. Longoria likely being one of them. I'm not sure how each country qualifies their players. And also, some may or may not choose to go. World Games will be in Chengdu, China, which is a substantial trip to make, as well as a number of days away from home. So we'll find out next month. And I don't know if that will be streamed or not.
I don't know either. International, is always different than the tours. Hopefully it is. I'd love to watch it.
Then beginning of September starts our new season. We'll be at the World Singles Doubles along with the IRT for a joint event. That's beginning of September. Hope you join us for that in Denver. Always a fun event. Lots of action on those courts, and sometimes some upsets too, given that we're playing at altitude.
Yeah.
Good for you. That's great.
And then depending on court settings, especially if it's cement, that ball's gonna be flying. It's already flying because of altitude, but
The interesting discussion will be what ball is mixed doubles played with, because the men play with Gearbox Black, women play with the purple pen.
two very different balls.
Here we go. Longoria leading 9-0. I don't know what that was for. A serve from Longoria. All of a sudden seems to be a completely different player to game one.
I mean, you watch Rose play, and then you go and it's like, oh, wow, okay. And then because of her IQ and experience, it's just figuring out what to do. And then going on, we know if she knows what to do, she's going to execute. Oh, my stars.
Not missing a ball now.
Showing this very sizable crowd of why she's world number one. Commentators curse, saying consistent,
I've always said we should be paid more, Ace. So Ross maybe served once in the second game.
I think so.
And the balls just are not staying down anymore for Naomi Ross. Side out. Over to our left, Barria plays Herrera. It's the other match. We're still waiting to find out who will be a quarterfinalist. Next on court will be our doubles quarterfinals. Centellas Vargas against Rivero and Ross. Ross will be back in action on this court with young Bolivian Rivero taking on Centellas and Vargas, who won in Virginia last weekend and we're in the finals in Boston.
Ooh, a jump.
Swing and a miss from Ross.
I would tell her 1 point at a time. You missed a shot. Okay, we can't do nothing about it. What happened? What went wrong? What do we adjust? All right, let's move forward. Shot.
Another 3-shot rally. Just wonder, Maurice, if we could put the older, wiser Maurice in the younger, more athletic Maurice when he played the tour.
What would that have looked like? That'd have been, man. Whew. Top 4 for sure. For sure. Wasn't beating Kane. I'm just going to go ahead and throw that out there. that wasn't going to happen.
Replay.
Yeah.
To me, that looked like the right call.
Yeah, I'm going replay. I'm actually going, she should have still swung because she had room, but I'll give you safety replay. But we also are on the right side.
Well, we agreed with the official this time.
True.
And at the moment, Ross not executing like she did in game one, not putting balls away, not forcing Longoria out of the service box.
I don't think the same poise from game one to here. Certain shots are, short stroke or rest compared to game one.
Match point, Longoria.
That's such a good angle.
And I think that epitomized the game, too. Ross had a chance in the middle of the court, but hit it 3 feet high, and as a consequence, Longoria, faced a stiff test in game one, but came out of the second 15-0.
Sometimes the benefit of having that coach pull you aside and say, hey, this is what we see, make these certain adjustments, executed the game plan perfectly.
Okay, so coming up next, we have doubles, everybody. We've got the quarterfinals of doubles coming up on court first. Rivero Ross, Centellas Vargas, and then we also have Parilla Amaya and Rodriguez Lawrence. Hope you join us for those matches. We're going to take a break. We're going to allow players to warm up. We'll be back with you here in Charlotte, North Carolina.